Welcome to NewScapeGames, the best source of Fortnite news, leaks, lists, and theories. Fortnite is constantly changing up the meta of the game, introducing new guns and gadgets that turn gameplay on its head. But what weapons does Fortnite need to add? What weapons would change up the game so radically that Epic Games would be insane not to put them in the hands of the players? Guns like the Zapotron and the guided missile launcher might have been ridiculously OP, but you have to admit nothing is more fun than blasting away your opponent with something super powered. We here at NewScapeGames have come up with 10 weapons Fortnite needs to add to change up the meta. Before we jump in, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, click that bell so you never miss a video, and leave a comment about what you want us to cover next. Also, don't forget to use code NewScapePro in the item shop. Now, let's go! Number 10. Incendiary Grenades. With the introduction of the flare gun in Chapter 2 Season 3, Epic Games gave players a new gameplay element. For the first time, Fortniters were able to burn up opposing players' builds, causing them to become considerably weakened. We figure incendiary grenades would work much in the same way. It would cause major damage to wooden structures and lesser damage to the more hardy brick and steel. Where this would differentiate itself from the flare gun is that it would provide more damage to enemy players and builds, without providing the essential enemy player locations that the flare gun gives you. We think incendiary grenades would light up the competition. Number 9. Zapotron 2, the Railgun. Way back in Season 1, some lucky OG players were able to use the Save the World weapon, the Zapotron. This weapon was insanely powerful, able to one-shot players from a considerable distance. The Zapotron upset the balance of the game so much, it was quickly vaulted on the first day of Season 1, and never seen since. Now, we aren't advocating for such an OP weapon to return, but maybe with a few minor changes, it could become a balanced part of the game. The two elements that would make this a worthy and balanced addition to the game would be the ability to shoot through walls with a long recharge time. Shooting through walls would certainly change up the meta of Fortnite, with players no longer able to turtle themselves forever. You could even scale the damage to decrease with every object it passes through. The long recharge time would offset the useful skill. Whether it's called the Zapotron, laser rifle, railgun, whatever, this weapon would make players think twice while hiding. Number 8. Charge Pistol. Season 3 saw the introduction of the Charge Shotgun, a powerful, if difficult to use weapon that gives the players control of the amount of damage the gun deals. We here at NewScapeGames think this works especially well for a pistol. Why, may you ask? Well, Halo, of course. The answer is always Halo. The Covenant Plasma Pistol features the ability to charge up a shot and also has the added bonus of destroying a player's shields. Giving players the ability to knock out an opponent's shield in one guaranteed blast would even the playing field between two players with unmatched hit points. In Halo, the weapon has a slight homing function that tracks players' movements. This would be too OP for Fortnite, as it would give an unfair advantage to low-skill players. Without the homing function, a charge pistol would be a great addition to Fortnite. Number 7. The Flamethrower. This weapon would cause the biggest change in Fortnite since the introduction of the Brute Mechs, but we swear, this one will be for the better. The Flamethrower. This weapon would give players the chance to decimate opponents' builds at an incredible rate. It would be like a minigun on steroids, allowing players to either speedily destroy structures by focusing all their fire on the target, or lighting something ablaze to deal some incremental damage over time. Another interesting element could come in the ways players can respond to fire, giving them the ability to put out the flame in either a new item, jumping into water, or even repurposing the water balloon into something useful. The possibilities are endless. Number 6. Sticky Trap. Here's a fun concept that would change up the battlefield. A trap that players could put onto the floor that would slow down opponents, a complete inverse of the ice traps. Instead of slipping and sliding, you'd be sticking and stopping. This would make players think twice before entering any room. What would make this fun as a trap is that players would still be able to move around and dodge, but at a much slower speed, adding emphasis on players bulking up their hit points at all times. It would be the trap equivalent of a stun grenade. This would lead to some truly sticky situations. Number 5. Friendly Turrets. Way back in Chapter 1 Season 6, we were introduced to the Mounted Turret. This was a tough item in its day, and was a complex challenge to deal with. The power behind their shots and the infinite ammo they were provided eventually led to their vaulting. But what if there was a way to reintroduce them into the game in a more nerfed way? We present to you the Friendly Turret. This item would function as a mix between the friendly bot grenade and the classic mounted turret. You would throw this baby down and it would provide defensive fire protecting you and whatever builds you have. They would likely have to be rather weak in comparison to the old turret, but would more than make up for that by being self-operated. I mean, there's already the agency's auto turret. Why can't players get their hands on that? This would go a long way to introducing a new gameplay element to Fortnite without shaking things up too much. Number 4. Stim Gun. Imagine yourself in the middle of a heated firefight with your teammates. They're getting pummeled by enemy fire and they're close to being downed. That's when you draw your Stim Gun. Able to deliver 10 health with every hit to a friendly player, this limited use gun could turn the tide of the battle. It would be a way to reintroduce the bandage bazooka, but without taking up 2 item slots. Giving the item a fresh spin would be a totally Fortnite thing to do. Number 3. The Knife. Fortnite has flirted with melee weapons before, mostly in limited time modes like the Star Wars event. And as we all know, players drop in with a pickaxe, but what if Fortnite was to kick it up a notch? We took inspiration from one of the most popular shooters of all time, Team Fortress 2, and asked ourselves how the Spy's knife might work in the Fortnite meta. For those not in the know, in TF2, the Spy has a special class weapon that when used to strike an opponent in the back, gives them an insta-kill. To port this over into Fortnite, there may have to be some nerfing. Perhaps instead of an insta-kill, it takes away 100 hit points. This would mean certain death for anyone without a shield, but would give those with it a fighting chance. In addition, to help balance it, the player using the knife would face a cooldown after using, making them vulnerable to return fire. Introducing the knife would really shake up Fortnite, hopefully in a good way, giving players a reason to be extra vigilant or extra stealthy. Number 2. Vulcan Minigun. The minigun has been vaulted recently and has had a tough time remaining in the game's meta when there's much more useful submachine guns that are more accurate and versatile. Given that the last time we saw miniguns there was the mythic Brutus minigun, we think it would only make sense for the classic minigun to get an overhaul. The Vulcan minigun can replace the legendary version of the classic minigun and feature slower overheating and faster cooldowns. It could also see a boost in its structure damage stat to make it even more of a menace in combat. Seeing the iconic Vulcan minigun in Fortnite would be joyous, as is certainly the coolest gun in all of existence. Number 1. Ricochet Shotgun. Fortnite has seen some major overhauls to their shotguns over the years, with new variants being introduced all the time. From the double barrel to the drum, to now the charge. Fortnite shotguns have always delivered big shakeups to the game, and our idea would be the biggest shakeup yet. This weapon would provide the same sort of scatter shot pattern, but the pellets would in turn ricochet off whatever surface they hit. The ricochets would obviously be of weaker strength than the full-on blast, but it would provide a tactical advantage in tight positions. Being able to shoot around corners and back at pursuing opponents would add an element of skill to certain close quarters battles. Be careful though, because you don't want to get hit by your own ricochet. Well, there you have it. These are the 10 weapons Fortnite needs to add. Let us know below if there are any items you want to see in Fortnite that we didn't list. Don't forget to use code NewScapePro in the item shop, and make sure you subscribe to the page. Thanks for watching.